Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Football Researcher Podcast. Today, we are going to talk about who is better, the AFC or the NFC. All right, we're just going to jump right into this video by saying you guys are probably saying, well, the NFC won last year, so shouldn't that be the better conference? But there's more to it than just that. So we're gonna kind of go on like every team. So the Buccaneers obviously won last year, but doesn't mean the NFC is the best conference. So Tampa Bay, they obviously won, so they are obviously very good with Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Leonard Fournette, and a very good defense. And one thing I have to say about them is that their kicker, Ryan Suckup, is top 5 in the league kickers, definitely. He's just really good. If you look at his stats, he is really good. But then again, when you look at the AFC, the Chiefs haven't been that good this year, but they will 100% bounce back, in my opinion. I think Mahomes, his stats, he is top 5 in both NFC, or not both NFC and AFC, both pass yards and pass touchdowns, number 3 in interceptions. But one thing I have noticed is that he does throw more interceptions than last year, but most of them have been off tips, and mainly from Tyreek Hill. That's what I've noticed. Tyreek Hill's not been catching them, and they've been bouncing off his hands, right into the opponent's hands, right into the defensive hands, and it counts off Mahomes. So, So I feel like it's not really interceptions, more I would say probably 6 out of his 11 or 10 interceptions have probably been off tips, mainly from Tyreek Hill again. But we're going to go really based on every really good team. So the AFC, they've got a lot of good teams. They've got the Chiefs. The Chargers are very underrated with Justin Herbert and Mike Williams, Austin Eckler. It's very good players over there. This may shock a lot of you. I think Mac Jones will be a very good quarterback for the New England Patriots. And I don't know, I think they need to work on their defense, and obviously they need to work on the wide receiver position. I think they got a good running back with Damian Harris, but yeah, I think that's really often that offense with Hunter Henry tight ends position is pretty good, but running back and tight end are basically, they need to work on quarterback and wide receiver position, especially just for the Patriots. The Bills, they got Josh Allen over there with I forgot the running back's name, but I know he's pretty good. They've obviously got Stephon Diggs, Emmanuel Sanders, pretty underrated over there, and their defense is just so good. Even though they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars 9-6, that was just a fluke game. And got the Titans over there. They got Ryan Tannehill. Derrick Henry's out for a couple weeks, but I don't think that will be a big issue because I think he'll be back in time for the playoffs. If and when, I think they will make it, but if they do make it to the playoffs, I think they will definitely have Henry back to play those games, which is a very important piece to the puzzle for them. Got a good defense over there. They got a good special teams. And I don't really know their tight end, but I know wide receiver position is good with A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown's very underrated in my opinion. I just think they have just good overall team, and they definitely have a winning record. I forgot the record. I think it's 7-2, something like that. And they crushed Chiefs. That's always a big win. They crushed them. I was not expecting that. I was expecting a pretty close game. I was not expecting 27-3. I don't think anyone else was, really. But there are teams that do hurt the AFC. Like the Houston Texans, I think they're like 1-1 or 2. Jaguars, they can't seem to figure it out. Dolphins, Jets. There's some not as good teams. I'm not gonna say the Broncos, actually. They're 5-4. They're doing pretty well. Started off 3-0, but the reason they started off 3-0 is because of the fact that they played like Jacksonville, the Jets, and Miami the first 3 games. So they went 3-0 there, and I was not shocked. The Raiders, they're pretty good. I think they're a little overrated, but I think Derek Carr is 100% overrated. But, I mean, you never know. But they do have Hunter Renfrow, which is a pretty valuable asset with Josh Jacobs, obviously. He's really good. So, yeah, those are basically the bad and good teams over there in the AFC, and we'll see if they pull out on top for the best conference in the NFL, either the AFC or NFC. But now we're going to move on to the NFC, and I think the NFC, it's going to be close, whoever wins the Super Bowl this year, but I think I know it's going to be a battle. I'm excited for the NFC Championship game, and definitely the Super Bowl. That's going to be one of them. I think it's just going to be a good game this year. The Super Bowl's bound for like a real close game. We're going to start off with the good teams. I mean, the Rams, obviously, with Matthew Stafford. My family is a Lions fan, so they're a little upset that they got rid of Matthew Stafford and his potential, and I definitely agree with that. Cooper Kupp, the best receiver in the league, in my opinion, with Robert Woods and Tyler Higbee. This is a really powerful offense. Darrell Henderson's very underrated. Good special teams, good defense with Aaron Donald. Yeah, it's just a very good group, and I think they've only lost 2, even though they did get kind of crushed. But again, I think it's just a fluke game. Every team's going to have one of those games. But, I mean, the Cardinals, they have one of the best records in the league. They did lose to the Packers, but again, I just think that's not really a fluke game just because Packers are really good over there with Aaron Rodgers. But Kyler Murray, underrated, I think. DeAndre Hopkins over there, kind of overrated, but still good. I mean, I got him on my fantasy team, so check that out. They have Christian Kirk, underrated player. Also, they have, what's the running back? James Conner and Chase Edmonds. That's a very good duo. That's the best running back duo in the league, I think. They got a good defense with Chandler Jones. I like their team overall. The Packers, they're just a good team. With Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Devontae Adams, they got Robert Tonyan, who's out for the year, but Robert Tonyan was a pretty valuable asset, and I think they'll miss a couple touchdowns because of him, and he was a good blocker as well. But their big weakness, the Green Bay Packers' big weakness, I don't know if any of you guys watched the Cincinnati and Green Bay game. They need to find a new kicker. Kickers are becoming more and more important every year. Just like I was saying with the Bucs, they got Ryan Suckup, one of the best kickers in the league, in my opinion. They need to find a new replacement soon. Maybe even, I'm hoping they do it next year. I think that'll help a lot. But kickers are becoming more and more important to a team, and especially in these next couple years, I think they will be one of the most important pieces. So we got those. We obviously got the Buccaneers over there with Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Gronk. Brady loves throwing to Gronk all the time, but yeah, I mean, they're just good, really good. Got the Saints. Losing Jameis Winston was I don't think it was that big of a deal, to be completely honest. Taysom Hill, he comes back, it's going to be good. I don't know if he's back. No, I don't think he's back yet. Seahawks, I don't really want to, you think the Seahawks are just a good team anyways with Russell Wilson, but they're not that good. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Collins, running back position, but they're just not that good. But I do want to say something about the Vikings, okay? The Vikings are going to make the playoffs this year. I'm just going to say it. Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins is so underrated. Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson, the most underrated wide receiver in the NFL, in my opinion. They're just so good. They need to work on their defense, but just like the Chiefs, coach is going to have to, like Andy Reid, I forgot the Vikings head coach, but they're just going to need to have a better defense, and they're going to need to work on it next year in the draft, next year in the on the trades and stuff. They're just going to need to work on that. So now we're going to talk about the NFC bad teams, Lions, okay? Jared Goff is just overrated, okay? They got Khalif Raymond, which is a pretty good wide receiver, but they just need to work on basically every aspect. TJ Hawkinson, tight end, you keep the tight end, though. TJ Hawkinson is very good, top 5 in the league, in my opinion. Maybe a little overrated, and maybe not top 5, definitely top 10 in the league. I don't know. Tight ends are kind of a hard position to, I don't know. But, the Bears, they're not very good at all. David Montgomery is a very key asset to them. Allen Robinson's pretty overrated. Justin Fields, pretty overrated. The Eagles, Jalen Hurts, I think, is overrated. Miles Sanders is overrated. There's just a lot of overrated players over there in Philadelphia. Other pretty bad teams are there. The Atlanta Hawks, or not the Atlanta Hawks, that's basketball. The Atlanta Falcons. Matt Ryan's pretty overrated. Right now, he is, at least. He's not that good anymore. He had a good game last week, but he's just, against the Saints, he's just not good anymore. Panthers, they started off good. They had the first 3-0 record just because they beat the Texans on Thursday night, which is not really a great win. But Christian McCaffrey out has been very bad. They're just going to need to work on a lot of aspects, especially defense and wide receiver. Getting Robbie Anderson was pretty good. I like that pick, but basically the other wide receivers, DJ Moore though, pretty good. Not underrated, not too overrated, but I think he is a pretty key asset to them. Got a good kicker, good special teams, that they just need to work on their defense, just like the Chiefs and the Vikings. What other not so good teams are there? The 49ers. Trey Lance, I have no idea what their quarterback situation is. It's pretty confusing, not gonna lie. Need to work on their wide receiver position. They got Deebo Samuel. He's a little overrated in my opinion. But they need to work on defense. They need to work on the offensive and defensive line. They just need a lot to work on over there in San Francisco. So yeah, I think we did that. But the moment you guys have been waiting for is which conference is better. You guys can vote in the comments on which conference you think is better. But I think it is the NFC. The Rams, Vikings, Packers. The Vikings don't have a very good record, but they'll bounce back, I think. The Rams, Vikings, Packers, Bucks. They just got so much talent over there in the NFC. And I'm not saying the AFC is bad or anything. I'm just saying the NFC is, I think, the best conference in the league. So yeah, you guys can vote in the comments on what conference you think is the best. But that is going to be it for this episode of the Football Researcher Podcast. And next Friday is going to be NBA. Vote in the comments also. What do you like to see, NBA or NFL podcast? Definitely gonna keep doing them like that, because I know probably half of you like football, probably half of you like basketball. But So, yeah, we are going to post every Friday. Hopefully every Friday. Not every Friday. Just in case if something happens or something. But I'm hoping it can be every Friday or every other Friday or something like that. But, yeah, that's going to be the end of this podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And see ya.